And you're looking at a $6.75 bag of air, grease, and salt. That's the current U.S. average price for a 16-ounce bag of potato chips, according to Federal Reserve pricing data. The Federal Reserve's economic database tracks the average price of potato chips at $6 per 16 ounces as of May 2026. Now, here's the part they don't want you doing the math on. Even though potatoes are one of the cheapest raw foods you can buy, the average bag of chips has jumped 48% over the past decade. One single russet potato, the kind sitting in your pantry right now, costs about 30 to 50 cents, and it can produce almost an entire snack-size bag of chips. That's not a 10% markup. That's closer to a 1,200% markup. Once you account for the water weight, the nitrogen-filled bag, and the shipping, I'm going to show you how to make an entire batch for pennies using nothing but a potato, oil, and salt. For almost a century, snack companies have sold you convenience, not potatoes. They taught you that chips have to come from a bag with a mascot on it. That homemade means inferior, and factory-made means consistent. That's not chemistry. That's marketing. Here's the truth about what's inside that bag. Potato slices, oil, and salt. That's it, 3 ingredients. The other 90% of the price is packaging, brand loyalty, and shelf space. Chip companies also pump the bag full of nitrogen gas. And not because it's a secret preservation formula, it's just to keep the chips from getting crushed in shipping, and it makes the bag look fuller than it is. Once you strip away the branding, you're left with basic food physics: starch, heat, and oil. And that reaction has been understood since the 1850s, when the first fried potato slices were served in Saratoga Springs, New York. Cost doesn't negotiate. Heat plus thin starch plus oil equals a crispy chip, and whether a factory does it or you do it in your kitchen, here's everything you need, and you probably already own most of it. 1. Potatoes, russet or Yukon Gold, about 0.79 1. LOB at Walmart or your local grocery store. Then 1 large potato makes roughly 1 personal-sized bag of chips. 2. Neutral high smoke point oil, vegetable, canola, or peanut oil, about $5, $6 for a 48 Ose's bottle at Walmart. Then the reason it has to be neutral isn't a marketing choice. Oils like canola have a smoke point around 400 Fahrenheit, well above the 300-325 Fahrenheit range you're frying at, so they don't break down or add off flavors. 3. Salt, plain table or kosher salt, a few cents worth per batch. That's it. 3 raw materials, all found in a normal kitchen or a $10 grocery run. Now here's the science, and this is the part the industry never explains. A raw potato slice is loaded with surface starch. Then, if you fry it straight out of the knife, that starch gelatinizes unevenly, trapping steam and making the chip soggy or unevenly browned. So the fix is simple. Soak the slices in cold water for 15 to 30 minutes before frying. This isn't a kitchen myth. The FDA-aligned food safety guidance recommends soaking potato slices 15 to 30 minutes before frying, specifically because it reduces surface starch, which changes the entire browning reaction. Then, water actually extracts the natural sugar and amino acid compounds from the potato surface, which is the same reaction responsible for overbrowning and excess acrylamide formation, a compound that forms during high-temperature cooking like frying and roasting and baking, according to the FDA. Step 1. Slice your potato as thin as you can, about 1/16 inch. A Mandoline slicer, roughly $12.15 at Walmart or Amazon, makes this foolproof, but a sharp knife works fine. Step 2. Soak the slices in a bowl of cold water for 15 to 30 minutes. Don't skip this. This is the insider step almost every home cook rushes past, and it's the single biggest reason homemade chips turn out limp instead of crisp. Step 3. Pat the slices completely dry. This part matters more than people think. Any leftover water will make the oil spit violently once it hits the pan. Step 4. Heat your oil to around 300 to 325 Fahrenheit. If you don't have a thermometer, drop 1 slice in. If it sizzles gently and rises, you're ready. Step 5. Fry in small batches. Don't crowd the pan. Crowding drops the oil temperature, and that's what causes greasy, soggy chips. Step 6. Then pull them the moment they turn light golden, not dark brown. Dark brown edges mean overcooking, and UC Davis food quality guidance recommends looking for golden yellow instead of dark brown when cooking starchy foods, since darker cooking increases compound formation. Step 7. Salt them immediately while they're still hot and glistening with oil. Salt only sticks properly in that first 10 seconds out of the fryer to melanin of results. This isn't instant. The whole process takes about 25 to 30 minutes start to finish. But the result is a full bowl of chips made exactly the way you like them, for less than $1, the question I get most. Isn't fried food at home just as unhealthy, or worse, Store-bought? Actually, it's usually the opposite, and here's the data behind that. The FDA's own industry guidance confirms that soaking potato slices before frying decreases acrylamide production, a step that most mass-produced chip lines skip or minimize because it slows down their production speed. The FDA also recommends decreasing frying temperatures to 347 Fahrenheit or below and cutting thinner slices to reduce compound formation, which is exactly what you're doing by hand with a thermometer in a small batch. A factory running thousands of pounds an hour doesn't have that same margin for control. You also control the salt. Store bags routinely load chips with sodium to enhance shelf-stable flavor. At home, you decide exactly how much goes on, and you can leave it off entirely if you're watching your sodium intake. None of this is a medical claim. This is basic kitchen control versus industrial scale production. Homemade doesn't cure anything, it just gives you the wheel. Let's do the real math one more time. The snack industry is a multi-billion-dollar business built on selling you starch, air, and a name brand mascot for $6.75 a bag. One potato, one costing under $1, makes almost the same amount of chips. And using the same 3 ingredients that have been public knowledge since the 1850s, a $1 potato that permanently solves the problem is not a business model. It's a business ending. If this saved you money, hit the like button. It helps other people who are overpaying find this information. Coming up next, I'm breaking down another material science trick the cleaning industry doesn't want you to know about. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.